All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Dark Roast of Nerdiness podcast, episode number 3. I can't remember what I called this episode, so I poop our DM already. As you can see, we're trying a different layout today. Hopefully, everybody likes it. Hopefully, the stream looks a lot better. Sound quality is a lot better for people. So we got a few little topics today. I am, as usual, my name is Chris. I go by Wolf. And joining us is Brenly, aka Shark. Say hello, Shark.
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
So the episode today, we're going to kind of center everything around just, we're going to go a little bit into entertainment and nerdiness stuff when it comes to some of the pretty wild sci-fi stuff that just kind of came down the pipe that I saw this week. And then on top of it, we're also going to kind of do another character creator spotlight, go over some of our setups for the controls we use for various different games. But we're going to start today off special going into pretty much everything coffee. Going to go into a few things about coffee technology that's come out in the recent months that I use. That one thing is going to be generously donated over to Shark because he'll get more love out of it than I will. And I'll first state that when we do talk about that item, I am not giving it away because I dislike it. I love it. It's just something that if you're going to do like Shark does, which he has, his wife over all the time and more people kind of at his place, it's better for people that want to do a larger batch brew. I am so damn stuck on a V60 and single pours now that my other device we're going to talk about is more catered to that. And so we'll kind of get everything started off. It is the 15th today. Hope everyone had a good week. Hope everyone who has a significant other had a good and happy Valentine's Day and not a lead to divorce type Valentine's Day or a breakup day. For those of us in the single world, our pocketbooks are still full. So thank you. If we had any money to start with. Oh, man. So other than that, anything you want to add in, Shark, before we hop into all the coffeeness?
Nah, I mean, we've been an interesting couple of weeks. We're about to get another freeze after we hit 84 degrees here in San Antonio the other day, and we're going to be back down into the 20s again. And, I'm thinking that a lot of times Texas is more bipolar than my ex-wife. So,
yeah, I don't know, man. We're both Texas boys, but Jesus, this weather this last 3 years has been some wildly crazy crap.
I'm kind of happy for it, honestly, because a lot of them bugs probably came up, started hatching, and now they're going to die.
Good, they can all die. One thing I don't miss is bugs. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the jumping around though, man. That is like perfect pneumonia weather right there. Especially with the damn rain we've been getting on top of it. It's just a mess.
Yeah, the flu's been going crazy.
Yeah, I apologize if I start coughing, people, but yeah, I am literally just getting over. I stopped myself this close to going straight into a goddamn full-blown sinus infection again. Because of all this up and down, and I'm out in this weather all day long and all night long. So, yeah, that first night that it decided halfway through the day to drop to 40 and start raining, I'm sitting here, and that was the first day I was like, woohoo, I'm going to go out in shorts today. And then halfway through the night ride, I'm just like, this fucking sucks. So, oh, man.
Let's kick this off with some caffeine.
Ah, yes. Hopefully one day we'll have our shit together and we'll have nice little intros and funny little things. Shark and I have been tossing around some ideas to make things a little bit more funner. And once we get all of those kinks and everything down the line, we definitely have some guests that are going to hop in. I've talked to a few people that will remain anonymous at this time that want to hop in. One is an up-and-coming musician. She's pretty amazing person. Got some people in the airsoft community that we want to bring in. Got some people in the coffee community. That's one of the big names that I'm hoping to try to hopefully get on here one day, and kind of open up the format and the floor just to some more, bring in people so we can all kind of just geek out on coffee and talk nerd. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. So first thing we're checking out today is the Aiden Brewer from Fellow. So this video is coming, as you can see, from the Fellow website. So shout out to Fellow. As you can see, I'm already subscribed. I have owned many of their products. In fact, one of my first grinders, Shark now has, which is the Fellow O Gen 2, which I actually gave to him with a set of SSP burrs already in it. Well, no, that's right. You have the Gen 2 burrs and a Gen 1 grinder. That's right.
Correct.
Gabe has the Gen 2 grinder. So
with the SP burrs.
yes, that's right. Because Gabe, yeah, he's like me. He's chasing after that high acidity fruitiness. So let's go ahead and check out. This is the Aiden Brewer. This came out, I want to say, halfway through last year, because it made its debut last year at Munich Coffee Fest. So here we go. This is the Aiden Brewer.
Introducing Aiden Precision Coffee Maker. All style, all substance. Brew pour-over quality coffee with the press of a button. Fellow has spent the last decade designing products to elevate the home brewing experience. But one countertop classic remained unchanged. Armed with experience and overly caffeinated engineers, we set out to change the narrative that drip coffee is synonymous with bad coffee. So how'd we do it? Nick!
Easy. Exact alignment of agitation, flow rate, basket geometry, and temperature. Let's break it down. With Aiden's unique heating architecture, you can brew with 2-degree temperature precision. And thanks to a first-of-its-kind dual shower head, water flow is evenly distributed for both batch brew and single serve.
You can even create advanced brew profiles with custom bloom times, pulse control, multiple temperature settings, and so much more. All this can be done on Aiden or controlled with our app. You don't have to take our word for it. We invited coffee professionals into Fellow HQ for a day of testing.
It's the best batch brew I've ever had. In texture, in sweetness, it just mind blown.
The ability to really set up a brew profile and push that to a consumer and be like, you're gonna experience this coffee as I experienced it and exactly how I want to share it is very cool to me.
Some new things introduced by this brewer are quick temperature stability. So the ability to get to 210 degrees quickly or drop to 180 degrees in the very next pulse.
I'm the most excited to be able to see the interchangeable baskets and the removable shower head because you can actually find a sweet spot for multiple types of coffee, whether it's a full pot of coffee, it's a single cup, maybe something in the middle where you're just brewing a little bit for me and you.
Not only bloom, but pulse control from that pump, I think are really, really cool because that gives you a very similar to control to what we would do for a pour over.
Can I say best brewer on the market? Can I say that? Okay, it's the best brewer on the market.
We love pour over, but wanted a better way to brew a lot of it at once without sacrificing precision and control.
And with extraction yields beyond 21%.
We can't wait for you to meet Aiden.
So now to kind of go over it for the people that are joining in that are not like super aware of things. One of the biggest things other than water and grind size, and of course the quality of your beans, that's going to affect your coffee is temperature, flow rate, and agitation. Now, at the end when he said 21% yield for basically the volume of extraction that comes out per your brew, this is the only brewer of its type that can do batch brews and everything that can get an extraction yield that high. The omnivore, the Technovore Omnivore, or Technovore, the Mocha Pot, basically. Mocha, Technomaster Mocha. God, the names that come up with these fucking things sometimes. Cannot do the level of pulsation or agitation this machine can do. It cannot get up to ramp temperatures that fast or drop that quickly, and it cannot get an extraction that high. They've tried. For as great of a machine it is, don't get me wrong, it's a metal beast that will outlast its owner. It can. I actually have the Breville Precision Brewer, which up until this came out was probably the most notable one for being able to give you more precisional control, but not at the level like this. This machine also updates completely by itself through Wi-Fi, and down the line, Fellow is going to have coffees that are going to be released solely to them from roasters around the U.S. That when you get that that bag, you'll be able to go into the Fellow app on your phone, find that bag, hit it, and it will upload the recipe for brewing that coffee from the person that roasted it. So it takes all the guesswork out. It'll tell you how much, like, say you put on the dial, I want to make 5 cups. It is going to tell you how much coffee you need to grind in grams, the coarseness of the coffee. I mean, you dump all that in there and hit the button, it does everything else by itself. And that is kind of a game changer. The biggest game changer, too, is being able to ramp down temperatures. Especially for like people like me, I've been experimenting with something called the Samo technique, which was developed by Dr. Samo Smirke, who literally is one of the preemptive scientists in the coffee world right now. This guy has just been experimenting with coffee in such crazy ways, kind of changing the way people think. And he basically, through a lot of experimentation, found that when we do what is known as the bloom, which is where you're first pouring, to basically wet the beans and let them bloom, that the gases kind of escape from them prior to actually doing all your pours to brew the coffee. He started doing it at a lower temperature because his theory was when you're blooming and you're heating the beans up, at the same time they're degassing, you're losing some of the aromatics that get trapped in the coffee while brewing. You're losing some of the floral and the flavor that's in it. So what I've been doing lately is I actually brew the bloom at 105 degrees. Not only that, I also do my pour at 195, which for those of you that are new to the coffee, your average coffee maker that doesn't have temperature control is that thermocouple is probably set at 209. The average coffee you get at your coffee shop, not counting, like, we're talking their pour over coffee, not espresso or any of the fun stuff. The average brew batch coffee they do is probably at right about 205. And yeah, I have tried this with a few coffees that I am very familiar with and have gotten some amazing flavors. Shark can tell you that there is one that I love buying that literally tastes like a sweet peach oolong tea. And I've been able to get even more peachiness out of that I didn't think it could do. So yeah, if you're all watching the podcast today, check out the Aiden Brewer if you are looking to put money in on expanding your coffee game and you know that you're someone that's going to need to make 8, 12 cups. You're not a single cup person in the morning, or you don't have the time, like I thankfully do, to do multiple single cups of different things, that you just want that batch, you want great coffee. And the thermocraft that they developed for it, that fucker can hold heat for a long ass time. Now, if you're one of those type of people that wants to go and you love a Keurig machine, but you've never been happy with the flavors of the coffee you get out of the Keurig, or you're a single pour person, you love using a V60 or a Kalita Wave or a Cafetech 85, any pour over method, the machine we're going to look at now, this is the one for you. And this is my go-to every day now, is the X Bloom. Now, the X Bloom came out a while ago with the normal X Bloom, and then they came out of nowhere with the Studio. Lower price point, took every bit of customer feedback they had on the original X Bloom, and came up with this guy. For those watching, yes, what they are showing is true. This machine contains a scale, a built-in grinder. It does, as you can see, circular agitations like a person actually hand doing a pour-over device would do. Full temperature regulation, flow control, all of it. And when you get their pods, you literally just scan the NFC card and the roaster's profile for the grind, all of it is literally right there ready to go. Or like she's doing, you can use it if you don't have your own grinder to create your own slow pour recipe. Or like I do, I don't use their brewer anymore. I actually have a V60 that I put underneath it. And I've been able to get not only great coffee that I would have doing the V60 by myself, like this gentleman's about to do, I'm able to replicate the same cup of coffee every single time. Now, the interesting thing about the X Bloom is it has a great Discord community. They're always making updates. People can share their own recipes for coffee they bought. On the Discord channel, they have a whole section, and you can actually, if you're using the Discord on your phone, well, if you like and want to try the recipe because you have that coffee, you can hit the button of their recipe, and it will instantly export the recipe to your app for the X Bloom on your phone, and you now can just hit a button and run with that recipe. It is a little pricey, but if you don't have a scale and you don't have a grinder, it's literally, if you were to price all that out separately, this machine is a steal of a deal. Shark's had a few cups of coffee for this machine. He's watched it. What are your thoughts on it?
Oh, that stuff was, every time it's come out, it's delicious, and it's almost coffee in a show because there's no other brewer that does that automatically. It's like a little show. It's kind of fun to watch. So
Yeah, I still think it's kind of cool. Watch every day when I use it, I still get blown away by watching just that little water agitation move. And you can even set the radius of how far it goes out, how far it goes in. The spiral, like it actually does a spiral, but the way the spiral works is each pass, it's hitting a different area. So it's actually changing the route that the spiral goes in. So like the first time I saw a video, I was like, man, is it going to really hit every bit of the beans for the bloom? Is it really going to do what I can do with a V60 by hand? And it did. In fact, I think it does it better than I do it. But that's also one reason why I invest in the machine, is for someone like me where you're dealing with nerve control, your eyesight's kind of not where it should be anymore, and you just don't trust yourself to be able to do that perfect pour anymore. This is another thing that I think that X Bloom needs to market to, is for people that, hey, if you're worried about being able to replicate, or if you're a roaster and you want to keep trying different things and keep testing different things, this is the best machine, in my opinion, to do it with. So, but that is the X Bloom, and you can check out their website. And oh, for you eco-friendly people out there, for your climate scared people and all of that, it is super low energy. It has an automatic sleep shut-off timer that drops its energy footprint to almost nothing. And if you buy the pods from them, like they're showing in that picture right here on the side, these little guys right here, the bag they come in is fully recycled and biodegradable. And unlike a certain Keurig company out there, these pods are completely biodegradable. So there is no footprint waste out of everything you're using. And if you are a coffee fanatic and you've never heard, coffee grounds mixed in with your soil works great for plants. In fact, some bugs actually don't like it. So you're getting two things for the best: good mulch and a bug deterrent. So last one we're going to look at today is something that I have been thinking about pulling the trigger for a while. And that is a while back, there was at one of the coffee shows, I can't remember which one, it was about 2 years ago, might have been 3 now. A small company nobody had heard of called Odyssey showed up on the scene with a prototype machine at that time called the Argos. So he started taking pre-orders for it, and now they're in full production. This is a very sophisticated lever action espresso machine that has an extremely small footprint. But the uniqueness about it is the owners of this company, the creator of it, has listened to every bit of feedback from every customer and every iteration, all the way down to when a jet issue came out with one of their jet ports. He machined and redesigned one with the help of the barista who had found the issue. And then everybody that had ordered one in his entire customer database got a package in the mail of not only the new jet pumps for free, but a link to a QR code to a video on YouTube showing them step-by-step instructions of how to install it. Like, he has step-by-step instructions on the page here to literally break down every part of this machine if you wanted to. And here's the part I really love. Every single component, every single part is manufactured, built, tested, and assembled right in the United States in Colorado. He started out of his garage, and he now, I think, has over 50 employees and is constantly growing the company and hiring, and will always keep the basis fundamental of made in the U.S. Which, if those of y'all that don't know, there are not very many things when it comes to espresso or coffee stuff made in the U.S.
Hey, what's? No, we're on a podcast.
But yeah, so it will give Shark a few minutes here. It is definitely one of those cool little stories to hear and to find out about, and just watching a guy in interviews and everything. I love seeing people who have an idea, have a dream, follow it through, and then, you know, keep everything going and keep it in their own small town and help just expand the footprint of where they're at. So Shark, you good to go? All right, here we go. This was the first video released for the Argos. I also just love how it's just for a small footprint machine. It's just very sleek looking. It's just a cool looking little machine. Now, for people that are new to the coffee world, if you look right now on any website and type in flow control, temperature regulated, basically PID, lever action espresso machine, you are going to, on average, see machines that are $1,900 to $10,000. They are not cheap pieces of equipment. What you just saw, everything, you can get shipped to your door for about $1,100 through Odyssey, and that is just impressive. Out of all the big machines and everything I've thought about getting when it comes to espresso down the line, I still keep coming back to this one that I eventually may pull the trigger on. What are your thoughts of seeing something like that?
I mean, it's a sleek machine. That straight up. I mean, I've sent you pictures of ones that I've found all over the place, and they look like kitty toys because everybody and their mother's trying to hop on the coffee bandwagon. You got Rachel Ray and everybody trying to do it, and they do. They look like something that you give to their kid to play kitchen with, but that looks like a beautifully crafted piece of machinery that's there to do work.
Yeah. And that's what got me is like, he didn't go cheap on any of the components used or the production of it at all. Like when you watch the teardown videos, I mean, there's a hell of a lot of machining in that went into just the base and design of that frame, of the housing and the external components.
Well, not to mention, it has, for a lot of people who don't understand, whenever you do an espresso, there's pressure there. That's how that's drawn out. It's not, your pour over coffee, something like that. It's literally heavy bars of pressure, that's pushing this out slowly, creating that flavor.
Yep. And that's honestly, if any of y'all have a lower end espresso machine and you've never been able to get it dialed in, never been able to get that flavor you've been searching for, it might not actually be you. It may not actually be the grinder you're using. It may be some of these lower end machines do not give you the ability to adjust the flow control, the pressure. And most coffee shops you go to are using about anywhere from 6 to 10 bars of pressure to pull that shot. Some of these cheaper machines, I've watched videos where they've just hooked a potentiometer onto it, which, by the way, most people will never have a potentiometer because those fuckers are insanely expensive. They've seen cheap machines hit like 16, 12 to 16. That is way too much pressure. And that's why you're going to get a highly astringent taste. True espresso with good coffee done right. I've had some where there is a natural sweetness and fruitiness to it. If it is bitter, something in the process went wrong. Because coffee by itself is not bitter if done right. That's kind of what blew my mind when I got went down the coffee rabbit hole and got better at making coffee. I didn't realize that there are a lot of coffees out there that, if you're one of these type of people that you've been trying to quit the sugar creamer game, it may not be you. It may be the coffee you're using or the way you're making it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for our last little bit of coffee of the day, I wanted to just kind of quickly highlight. Let me get him here. I wanted to quickly highlight these guys right here, which is Rogue Wave Coffee Roasters. Now, Rogue Wave, I came across them a while back. I believe they're up in Canada. Don't quote me on that. I always forget. But they have just an amazing, different selection of coffees, almost every type of flavor or palette you can think of. They have won the Brewers Cup multiple times. As you can see here, Tokyo Expo, Canada's Brewer Cup. Hell, of this year they won again. Their pricing is very fair, but what I really love is when you click on a coffee, it's going to give you kind of a breakdown of the flavor notes that they tasted. Now, you may not always get these flavors. I'm going to tell people that right away. The people that taste a lot of these flavors, sometimes they drink so much coffee and their palates have expanded so much to understand coffee at this level that more than likely you're going to get about 3 or 4 out of these, maybe not all of them. what I love is it breaks down like where it's coming from, the growing process, the origin, the processing details. It tells you like the recommended brew ratios. They tell you the resting time, which most people don't realize. If you're getting fresh roasted coffee, some coffees you do not want to drink within 2 to 3 weeks of the date they were until the date after they were roasted, because the coffee is still degassing all the gases that are still built up in the beans from the roasting process. But yeah, they just break down a lot. Like, just very unique company. I have right now 2 coffees from them, and yeah, I've thoroughly fallen in love with them. They are just very good at what they do. I mean, hands down, in my opinion, one of the better roasters out there. So yeah, every month, one of the episodes we do, we're gonna give you a roaster of the month, um, and hopefully maybe you buy some of their coffee, check them out. Um, but yeah, I really don't have much more to say about them. It's they they just do what they do and they do it well, which is what a good roaster should do. I have yet to get a coffee from them I didn't like. Um, there are some coffees theirs I want to try, but since they're espresso recommended only, I sadly don't have a machine yet. Something I'm working on, but right now got a car to work on. So, oh man, but yeah, it kind of blows my mind, man. In the last 10 years, how many roasters just popped up all over the place, and I'm kind of interested to see with the rising cost of things, how many are gonna sadly make it through it.
Or unfortunately, which ones, if the coffee industry is going to get taxed by this, tariff hammer that is being
Yeah.
put, because
Well,
coffee for the most part is an international item for us. We don't
mhm.
grow that locally.
Yeah, coffee. I do not think that there is any coffee that has ever been attempted to be grown in the U.S. The majority of everything that most people drink in the U.S. on a regular basis is going to be either from Honduras, from Colombia, from the Dominican Republic, or from Brazil. However, though, we do have the coffee comes from all over the place. I've had coffee from Tanzania, coffee from, of course, Kenya and Ethiopia. But I've also had some coffees that were from Vietnam, from, God, I'm drawing a blank right now. It's anywhere where you have the perfect environmental conditions and elevation, coffee thrives. But it needs to be a more denser climate at a high elevation. So you're definitely talking places like
Peru and
yeah, Peru, Nicaragua, Hawaii, Jamaica. Um, Pretty much, sadly enough, almost all coffee is grown closer to the equator.
mm,
It I often had a thought the other day. I'm like, why is, with all the technology that NASA has developed over the years to be able to grow shit in space, why has someone not figured out how to replicate those environments in a large scale warehouse and try to grow coffee?
or a greenhouse environment.
Well, that's what I mean, like a closed environment inside a warehouse, or a large greenhouse. The only one I could figure out is how would you replicate the elevation?
Atmosphere.
That I think would be the trickier one.
Pressurized.
Yeah. And then of course the soil concentration affects it too. And then a lot of these great coffees that, like, these single origins that are amazing are, some of them, if I had to guess, are probably maybe 10, 20 generations of plants. So then you're
Mm.
talking that factors into it too. Then the technique of how it's processed or washed. Yeah, it blows my mind. And even in that, they're coming out with crazier shit every year. Thermal shocking techniques, all sorts of new stuff's coming down the line. But yeah, definitely, definitely a lot out there to absorb. Kind of when I went down that rabbit hole, I didn't realize how deep the hole went. And I'm not even still, there's things I'm learning every day or finding out new. So to kind of round out our coffee stuff for today, we're going to go ahead and check out our content creator. Today is this podcast is my turn. Shark and I always rotate these. Is the real Sprometheus. I came across him when I was actually in the hospital after my wreck. I was just scrolling through YouTube and somehow his feed came across, and I was like, okay, who is this? Like I've never heard of this guy, and he's been in the making coffee for coffee videos for a while. But what I love is he's very open and transparent about everything. He literally, when companies want to send him a product, he literally will tell them, if you are sending me the product free of charge, I am going to let my audience know that. And you will not see the review till it goes live for the public. You will have no say in what I have to say about it. You will have no editorial control. So if you send me something that's shit, well, guess what? I'm going to say it's shit. Or if there are major issues with it, he doesn't hold back. But what I also love is that he goes into just full breakdowns. Has a great
There are very
voice
few names
saying,
in the coffee grinder biz that carry as much history and experience as Mozart. But oftentimes, when you picture a Mozart, it's a tall hopper-based espresso.
and what I love is he's not over stylized on his editing process. He's not like, I hate the people, and sorry for the people I'm about to do. I hate when they're talking to you like this in the review camera. I do not want to see your fucking nose hairs. Sit back, please. I don't like when people get over hyperlized on stuff where they start jumping around with vocal inflections and pull the well, there's no easy way to say it because they do it a lot. The not Mr. Beast, but every crony that's in his video, they either act doofy when they don't need to be doofy, or over dramatize everything and do the whole I'm gonna talk like a cartoon character on a spaz attack. No.
Like 90% of ghost hunters.
Oh God. That's a rabbit hole we need to go down on one episode. Just watch these videos, just rip those assholes apart. I can't stand half of them. The whole, oh my God, what was that? That was a door your asshole who's holding the camera just shut, you dick.
You farted and scared yourself.
Yeah, no, or what I love is what was it? The very first ones that hit the TV. The first time I ever saw one of those shows, a reel from one of those shows, the guy's walking around, oh, we're gonna hunt him down. We're looking for ghosts. And it was the bald-headed guy, the short, little, stubby, bald-headed guy. It was the very first show that ever got signed. In fact, I don't even think they're around anymore, thankfully.
No,
but he's
they
walking
are.
around. They are? Oh, God.
Yeah, I think they're on Discovery or something.
He's sitting there walking around with a fucking hatchet. And I'm like, if ghosts are there, because I'm not going to say they exist or don't exist, we don't know. That's still the whole point of figuring it out. But if they are there, they're already dead. You think your hatchet's going to do a goddamn thing? I'd have more reliability if you went to Toys R Us and found an old toy proton pack and put it on.
At least that's electronic.
No kidding. But yeah, definitely, ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking to watch somebody who just gives general honest reviews, doesn't get too technical, but enough to where you get the point without feeling like you're being taught, you're not in school getting taught something that your brain is just in overload trying to grasp. The real Sprometheus is an amazing person to follow. In fact, one of my favorite roasters that I buy coffee from all the time, I would never have found out about him if it wasn't for him making a shot of espresso with their coffee, describing how amazing of a cup of coffee it created, that I was like, everything he's describing is flavors I like. I got to check this company out. And yeah, now I buy from them all the time because the guy's just good at what he does. So for our next topic, we're going to hop into, I hand the panel over to Shark, as we are going to hop into the wild world of Meshtastic.
Wow. So this is something that I've been digging into, and by no means am I an expert because this is a very large subject. But to put simply, Meshtastic is a device that was originally created for farmers and different industrials to be able to monitor different things, soil samples, weather, track tractors with GPS, and it all to report back without the use of the internet. And I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and I'm gonna change my picture over here. Just to kind of give you an idea of some of the difference that they have. These are Meshtastic nodes. Now, these are just little, almost if you want to think about it like a cell phone. These all are able to communicate with each other, all these different nodes. But the thing is they don't use internet, they don't use cellular, and the more nodes that you have, like it shows here, the more nodes you have, the bigger your network becomes. And what's really interesting is that, like I said, that started out for people who were, trying to track different sensors and stuff like that, just need to send small amounts of data, but didn't have internet access or anything like that. But as it does, stuff evolves. The prepper community and other like communities found out, hey, guess what? This thing sends small amounts of data. It can send a text message, and it's secure. So this literally becomes a form of secure short-range communication that can expand upon itself. I currently have one node myself, and it looks just like this right here. And in the past week that I've had it, I've ran across, I don't know, 150 different nodes between here and Fort Worth because I took a trip up there.
So there's basically a very large community of people using these.
Oh yeah, extremely large community. A lot of ham radio guys are getting into this. Like I said, preppers are getting into this, and it's an ever expanding thing. But what we also found out is, if you've ever heard of an item called ATAC or CivTAC, it is a military tracking program that primarily was designed for Android devices. And it's able to take a map and, different teams are able to communicate back and forth. Primarily right now, if you're not in the military and have, buku budget to spend, that goes over, Wi-Fi, or it goes over cellular. However, by being able to pair one of these devices up with your TAC program, you are now able to go to places where, hey, guess what? We don't have cell signal out here, so you can't use that. Well, this allows the communication of data between those devices now without internet, without cellular. It's secure, and yeah, it's kind of a cool thing. And like I said, I'm still learning a lot about this right now. I just ordered one of these right here for myself. These little cards, they're about the size of a credit card, but they're about 6 millimeters thick. And they're supposed to be able to do just about everything. It just doesn't have a little cool LCD screen like some of these others do, or, like this one here, or even this one here, this Liligo, which is going to be, I feel, a lot of a gateway for people getting into this, because it's just basically an old school BlackBerry with custom OS, and you can send text along this grid. And if you're sitting there, you're like, well, if you send a message, then everybody sees it. Well, no, not everybody sees it, because what happens is, even though you're a node on the network and your information travels, unless you're sending it to the entire network. Let's say that you're sending it from this little node here all the way up to this node. This is your buddy here. The message will get through here. Nobody else will read it except your buddy because he's part of your little pool of people within the network. So it's it's a lot to learn. I've already had one good headache over this, but I do enjoy tech headaches, and as we can see, my little node that I have, I keep it live. I just keep it running off a little battery backup pack, and it's been a little bit of an experience. I'm getting interested to see what happens when I get my second node and I'm start trying to watch communications between them and how far I'm able to get. And we were reading up earlier, and it looks like probably for a decent node, you can get a max of about 6 miles by itself from node to node. But you start adding extra people in, and then you're going from 6 to 20, from 20 to 40. Yeah. Next thing you know, if you've got enough people in there, you're going from San Antonio to Houston. So it's a developing item, and it kind of started right about COVID time is when this kind of really came on the radar, about that 2020 era.
Yeah, that's I think when I first heard about it too. Was I watched a video where the guy was talking about want to send text messages to your friend about you're sick of cellular contracts and people listening in and possibly listening into your text messages and all of that, because I remember that was like right when people were still kind of realizing all the crap that Snowden had brought forth onto what they were doing and how bad they were still abusing the Patriot Act stuff, even though it was not supposed to be happening anymore. Mm-hmm. And yeah, the guy was literally just showing the same style one you had, doing text messages. And he goes, "Who am I texting?" And the camera panned down like all the way halfway across the bay to his friend on the other side of the lake, waving, texting him back. And I was just like, damn, it's like that small of a device, that far of range, you're not paying for anything. It's like, there's very big potential for this down the road. The more people tweak them and expand them and...
Yeah, and requires no license to use. It falls under a nice little area of 900 megahertz where the FCC says, hey, guess what? That's commercial communications, and yeah, you can't do a phone call on this network. You can't do video or anything like that. It is literally just texting or small packet data, but small packet data makes the world go round.
Yep. Yeah, that is for damn sure. Yeah, definitely interesting. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you are you're definitely looking at something interesting kind of tech around with and mess with, check out Meshtastic stuff. If you watch our episode last, 2 weeks ago, episode number 2, Shark's content creator that he brought out, he actually also has some Meshtastic videos out there too, breaking down stuff that you can do and the different like jumps on it. Yeah, it's definitely something that there is not a lack of stuff on YouTube to watch about.
But it is definitely a rabbit hole too.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, you go down that one and you start also looking into stuff like a Flipper Zero. There is a ton of stuff out there rabbit hole wise. I watched one the other day with the Flipper Zero and some multiple antenna attachments he had on it, and they're driving down the highway, and literally within seconds he is hijacking the turn signal controls of 3 of the cars around him, which is why I'm glad to now have a vehicle that has no fucking Wi-Fi capability and never will.
Well, what's interesting is due to this and also my ham radio and GMRS desires, I ended up picking up a Nano VNA, which is a device to help tell you radio signals, and so you can check out radio signals. I actually use it for tuning antennas so that I'm getting good signal quality and so on. And fun little toy, $50 toy.
But the nerd, the big nerd question: can you identify the signals coming from the satellite in Cartsman's ass?
Ooh.
I love
You
how
know,
South Park has never brought that up again. He still has a satellite in his ass. And if you start singing Sail Away, he has to finish it.
Jeff Bezos was nice enough to supply 2 of these because he didn't deliver to my front door. And whenever I reported it, they sent me a new one. And then after that, my neighbor came by and was like, "Oh, by the way, they left this at my door." I'm like, "Thanks, Bezos."
Yeah. Well, also, thank you for having an honest and good neighbor. It doesn't happen a
really.
lot.
not some
I
of my
actually
previous
watched mine on the camera the other day dragging a big ass box with these panels in it. I'm like, man, you didn't have to do that, Mr. Martinez. Like, you could have just left it up front. But yeah, don't get me started on delivery drivers. I swear they are scraping the bottom of the barrel on some of them. Ugh. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, definitely check out the Meshtastic. There's a ton of fun stuff that you'll find that they can do and are starting to do and develop. And we have a Jack appearance.
Yeah, have to make his appearance, doesn't he?
Yep.
He's like, "I want to be seen by America."
Mine is locked out of the room right now because if not, she'll start crying and want out the minute she comes in. We definitely got to make a tunnel in the wall from the living room into here. But I figured out we're gonna have to make it like this, and then like that, and then like that, and put a baffle in it at some point so she can crawl through, but the sound can't carry over since the living room TV is literally right on the opposite of the wall. So yeah, definitely check that out, ladies and gentlemen. Our next thing we're hitting today is, as we have mentioned in the first episode, both of us are avid Star Citizen players, well, avid gamers, period. But fell down the Star Citizen rabbit hole, especially with, if you have never ever tried the game, wait till a free fly event happens. Try it. Get with a group of people that actually have played it before. It makes it a lot more funner, especially if they have a lot of ships to mess around with. And I guarantee you, the way the game is now, even though it's still a little buggy because it's a work in progress, they have added so many fundamental types of gameplay in there that I can't think of a single gameplay that at least every type of gamer is not going to enjoy to some level. But both of us definitely, Shark did it first, went down the Hotat and Hotas rabbit hole. So we're going to start with Shark first, showing you his current setup that he's using and what he likes and doesn't like about it, and which models he's actually using.
We're going to try this out. I have a cool little app, and we're going to see if this works out. So, we're going to turn that off. And we're going to bring up our camera. Let's see if this works. Oh, is it going to work? Is it going to work? There we go.
You are.
So, I am using the X56 system. And this is the throttle control for it.
And that's made by who?
This is, I believe, Logitech, if I remember off the top of my head.
Was it Logitech or Saytech?
Saytech. Thank you, Saytech.
Yes.
And then this is probably one of the best things that both of us use right here. This is Game Touch, actually. And I'm just have it here on a nice little tablet. And hey, that worked out pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, that actually did work out pretty good.
Worked out pretty good. There we go.
So now most of y'all out there, if y'all are watching and you're gamers and you do a lot of games that have multi-controls that you need to use and you kind of don't want to mess with your keyboard, one of the things most everybody's heard of is Game Glass. Now, the thing about Game Glass is it does have a large community. You can create your own shards, which is what they call the actual screen you're using on your touch screen. Here is the downside about Game Glass. One, it is a paid prescription. It is a paid subscription. And it has gone up twice now since I ever heard about it. Secondly, when you hit the button on your touchpad, it goes through either your internet or cellular connection to their servers. So satellite to their server, from their server back to a satellite, back to your computer. I could never get that fucker to work. Horse shit. And everybody else I know that did had a 2 to 4 second delay at least. Mention that. At least. Some people had longer.
In COD terms, that's 5 lives.
Yeah. Boy. Or in Star Citizen, oop, asteroid dead.
Mm-hmm.
So. Or shit, missiles didn't lock because the button didn't work, and by the time it locked, they already locked on me, and again, dead. Yeah. So, Game Touch installs a client-based side on the gaming computer you're using the system for, and then of course on your tablet using your Wi-Fi. So there's no ping-ponging around things. You hit the button, it goes through your Wi-Fi signal straight to the PC sitting right there. So you have I've never encountered a single delay on mine ever.
Not unless needed updates.
Yeah. It is literally what, $2 or $4 to buy it one time, and that is it. No subscription at all.
We paid for this?
Yeah, remember it was like literally $1 or $4, and that's it.
I don't even remember paying for it.
Yeah, it's a ridiculously stupid low price. And Wormy, as he goes by on his Discord, is the guy that developed it in his free time. He is active all the time on his Discord, always making updates, always making improvements. Now he has even added it to where there are more games, like War Thunder has its own, about to have its own plugin for it. Microsoft Flight Simulator has its own thing in it now. And he's getting it to where you can literally almost create your own shards. It's not going to it's never going to be as fancy as Game Glass, solely because, well, Game Glass, you're paying $5 to $10 a fucking month, and they're getting that for people all over the world.
Well, it can be. Now, that's not to say it can't be, because if you are someone who's really good with Photoshop, Wormy has made it where you can upload your own image and attach buttons to it, but it's not simple like Game Glass is. Yeah. That's the big difference.
Yeah. Now, if you're looking for that real immersion in your game, I would suggest getting Game Touch. And if you really want to add even more, I can't think of it off the top of my head right now, but there is a company out there that you can buy their program, and it adds voice commands to whatever game you're playing. Not only does it add voice commands, but the computer voice that's responding. So you like say arm weapons, and it says weapons armed. The voices are actual notable actors and voice actors. Everything from the guy that played Q from Star Trek, Brent Spiner, Michael Dorn, if you're a Star Trek person. The lady that voiced Asajj Ventress in Clone Wars, her voice. The lady that, Alexia Doig, who did the voice of the ship in Farscape, her voice. I mean, it's super voice attack. Yes, thank you. Yes, it's called Voice Attack, and they just keep getting more people to do voices, more improvements, more games. In fact, the content creator from episode 1 that I showed, Dig That 32, if you watch his early live streams and his early videos, he's using Voice Attack to arm all his weapon systems and lock onto targets.
And it is available through Steam.
Yes.
And it's $10. I've got the website up. $10 plus tax.
Yep. And then I think it's only like maybe $5 per voice add-on when they get a new person in. That they have more of the details of that on their actual website.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are definitely things to look into. If your game has head tracking and eye tracking, the Tobii Eye Tracker is an amazing product. Mounts right under your central monitor. Most of these people that you see, if you watch like any War Thunder streamers, War Thunder, Rust, God, I can't think of it right now. What's the zombie one that everybody plays? It's like Rust but zombies.
Yeah, I forget. I know
Yeah,
exactly what you're
Nazar
talking
and a lot of a lot of the guys I watch on YouTube. I just can't think of it right now. Star Citizen, War Thunder. If you're watching these videos and you're watching the camera angle, and all of a sudden the camera turns like this, but they're still running forward, or they start looking around, and you're watching their character look around, they're using an eye tracker. That's how
about.
they get those cinematic views and are able to change their field of view that rapidly, yet continually move in the same motion. They're all using an eye tracker. There's just no other way to really do it. You can do it, but not that smoothly without something like an eye tracker.
So, of course, William Shatner wants more for his, so it's 2823 for William Shatner's
Go
voice.
figure.
Uh, as much as I want that man,
Can you
because
imagine
he's
what
not
that
going
one
to be
sounds
here
like?
much longer.
Yeah. At least he is doing most of the convention circuits now. I mean, he is charging a penny, but you're right. If you don't take the chance to do it now and spend the money, more than likely, yeah, he ain't going to be around much longer.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
I just kind of want to hear what that one would sound like. Arm missiles. Hold on, I gotta think. How does he talks with a very weird cadence.
Oh, yeah. It's
The missiles are armed now. Missiles are firing. Yeah.
Oh, so for those that are wondering, I know you listed off a few, but it looks like, just doing a quick view here, because it has a product category list for this. Baldur's Gate, Elite Dangerous. It says many first-person shooters. Of course, Star Citizen, Star Wars, Starfield. There's X4. There's a lot of games listed here.
Yeah. See, I know the game that they launched Voice Attack 4 was originally Elite Dangerous. That's where they kind of started out at, and they keep expanding that from there.
Yeah, and they even show, if you've got a Steam Deck, or not Steam Deck, sorry, Stream Deck, they've got those Stream Deck.
Yep.
Boy, it's compatible to that too.
That's another thing. Like when we actually, I'm gonna have Shark share right now. My setup right now is what is just like his. It is a standalone throttle and a flight stick. There's the flight stick. The flight stick that I use is a Virpil Constellation Alpha on a Warbird base. And then the throttle I'm using right now is their new throttle CPV Max. It's the newest one that just came out. I'm slowly getting used to it and having a blast with it. Eventually, I do have another Warbird base with an angled grip and a Constellation Delta from Virpil that I may try the actual HOTAT setup. I just wanted to get the throttle was quicker to set up and easier to kind of lay it out on the base. But right now, we just have photos of it. I have no way of showing it right here because my camera is kind of stationary. And two, my plans is I have the mounts right now to mount them to the chair that I'm on, and they have a quick release. The only problem is I did not get the right mount. So I got everything hooked up. I'm like, yoo-hoo! Went to go attach everything. It's like, okay, the stick works. Stick's good. Fart me, the throttle doesn't work. It's like a wrong base for the throttle. So yeah, I'm kind of on a halter for doing that. But yeah, definitely there's a ton of stuff out there. When it comes to any of these setups, you can start out on the used market as cheap as $100 for a setup. You can get a pretty damn good new one for about $200 if you just shop for sales and research. And then they'll go as sky's the damn limit. I mean, you can research some of these guys that are playing the truck simulator or the semi simulators. And yeah, their rig, yeah. Just Virpil is considered when it comes to flight sticks kind of in the upper echelon. They're not as pricey as they used to be. The downside that you will get when you look at companies like VKB or Virpil or Wingwin is the fact that those are all handmade and assembled per order. So if you're looking to order one and thinking you're going to get it in 2 months, yeah, good fucking luck.
Well, and whenever you're going into the custom rigs, especially for Star Citizen, And I know we've already done our content or creator spotlight, but as far as Star Citizen goes, I really got to kind of throw it out to this guy right here.
Yep.
His build is absolutely insane. The man has more money than common sense.
Well, the cool part too is that he actually shows you how he built it, and the STL files he uses and everything are all open source. So if you wanted to try to replicate it or add or build your own, you can. Yeah, Undead Parrot Gaming is one of the biggest out there when it comes to the complexity of the sim rig he bought. Another guy that if you want solid reviews on all of the type of setups that are out there, the Nubifier is another one. That guy literally has in his basement full motion sim rigs because he is a retired helicopter pilot from the military. So he has a full motion rig replicating the Black Hawk that he flew. Still though, not the craziest setup. Undead he's up there. But the craziest, I can't remember the guy's name, but he's a streamer from China that literally turned a room in his house into a MISC spaceship from Star Citizen. Like electronic opening doors, you walk in, and the entire front of the room is a cockpit using, I think it's a total of 4 Samsung Odyssey curved monitors, all the way down to a 49-inch curved monitor in the center, acting as his MDF display.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But then again, this guy is like, he's not from China, he's from Singapore. Yeah, he rolled in into money to begin with. Yeah,
True.
There's Parrot's setup right there.
Yeah.
That's his most current iteration too, because it has the screen in the center.
Correct. So that screen setup right there that you're looking at is a 180-degree field that he created out of MDF. It's all a board, and he has 2 high-definition projectors that overlap perfectly to give him one continuous 180-degree field of view.
The only thing he doesn't show in all of his builds that I really want to message him, I am curious to know what his current PC specs are that's running that.
Oh, yeah. Well, and honestly, it's probably not much more than what we have, because we're pushing, I'm pushing 3 monitors, and I mean, he's probably got a higher video card, but everything else is all tactile.
I don't know, man. As smooth as his gameplay always runs, I already know he's probably running a current gen CPU. We know he's running DDR5 RAM, because I have the highest speed of DDR4, and even I bog down. And I bet you 10 to 1 he's at least running a 4090.
Yeah. If you look right here, his eye tracker is right there. If you watch his head right here, he looks up. Oh, hold on, I gotta back it up just a smidge. See, he looks up to see, and he looks down.
Yep.
That's that eye tracker you were talking about in action right there. You can look up, see what's going on, make sure you're not slamming in the doors and stuff, even though it always says you're slamming into the doors.
And if you're in a dogfight, that is a game changer right there.
Extreme game changer.
Because you're going to be able to instantly track and lock on faster.
Yeah.
Not to mention they can't fly behind you or to the side of you and sneak up on you. Yeah, his rig is, like that is lottery goals right there. Now,
that's for sure.
So the people could see what they just saw. The setup he is using for his sticks is a HOTAT setup. He has the same setup that left stick is set up the same as the one that I don't have a picture of right now. The only difference is he's using a Constellation Alpha grip. The one that I have on mine is the previous generation, the Delta. And the only reason I did that is the Delta has a different hand feel. And when I was watching videos, the Alpha works great in my mind the way I I wanted to play for the right hand one for your main flight and weapon functionality. The Delta,
Yeah.
though, to me, I didn't want the same type of hand feel and grip, wraparound grip style on the one that I'm gonna literally be having to twist the handle to activate something.
Well, and if you look down here, he's also got his throttle connected on top of that.
Yeah, he uses that so when he's going on long flights or something like that, and he doesn't want to have to hold down the HOTAS,
Pulls it forward.
yeah, he just pushes that forward and keeps it where it needs to be. And then when he plays different games, he said when he does stuff like War Thunder and everything, he has it to where, where that one, where the HOTAT's up, he can pull the box that's around it, lift it up, and then slide the throttle forward, and then set that one behind it. So both of those can slide out and move into each other's positions. And then he has the keyboard that comes out. He has the smaller mouse with the trackball right there. And then on the other side, he actually has another pedestal like the keyboard one, but for regular mouse. And he even has an Xbox gamer controller there too.
Yeah. Well, and this item right here is actually a single-handed keyboard. That those things now, God, those things sometimes go $100, $200 for these little things. I've still got my God, when did I get that? I got that when I first started playing World of Warcraft almost 20 years ago. I bought mine. I still have it. It still works. It was a Nostromo N52, I believe.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, it's Nostromo, and I think the only company that's still making those is the Razer Chroma V something.
Correct. Yeah, that is Razer that makes it. But yeah, I still have mine. It still works. And oddly enough, I also have my same keyboard. We talked about that before.
Yeah, it's funny. I have keyboards galore sitting in drawers now because I wanted to go the wireless route, didn't like the latency, wanted to do this, didn't like it. And honestly, what do I keep going back to? The very first fully mechanical ducky I built. Because it has weight, the keys are great, the layout, it works every fucking time. I even have sitting in a drawer, and they have people that watch this if they're going to kill me that I'm about to say this. I have 2 of the fancy electro linear mechanical ones. I don't fucking like them. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Oh, it's faster responsive. It's like, yeah, whatever. I'm just going to throw them up Facebook Marketplace and somebody else can give me some of my money back for them. Give my money back.
I can't really show mine. Mine's actually an old Logitech G710 Plus. And I've had this keyboard for, I want to say 13 years. And it's not worn out. It's still as crisp as the day I bought it.
Yeah, because that's when they built shit to last. I'm sorry. I have the Steel series, the one everybody wants. And just the build of it, I can tell you, 3 years' time, if that's still going to be working the way it does now, I don't think it will. I really don't.
Let's see here.
And I can tell you the Asus Azeroth series are not that great, especially when they magically fly across a room onto a floor.
So that's the 710, not the 710 Plus. And once again, this is a 13-year-old keyboard. That's still going for 150. The one I have actually goes for more, if you can find them. This is the one I have right here. Typically, look at that. Typical price, $200 to $300.
Yep.
If you can find this one.
Because they know what they built.
I bought this thing for $45 at oh God, was it Circuit City? It may have been a Circuit City.
If it's 13 years ago, yeah, they were still around back then.
It may have been a Circuit City I bought this at. That or a Best Buy, one of the two. I bought this, and probably never get rid of it.
That brings up something I want to complain about very quickly. Texas, we're big. We have a fuck ton of people. We are one of the central hubs for all the streamers out there that have decided to move to Austin now. So, and they're probably not going to watch this because we're nobodies. But
True.
Micro Center California's got enough of your fucking stores.
Yeah, we'd have to drive all the way to Houston.
Yeah,
to
at least
the
build
Micro
one in
Center.
fucking Austin of all places. But no, where do they keep building them? Douchifornia.
Well, let's see if they've.
Well, they built one. What I think it was Dallas is the next one coming, right?
Is it? I'm pulling up right now,
Yeah.
trying to see if I can find their locations. Because yeah, so for those who don't know, I lived in Houston for an extremely long time. I pretty much consider it my hometown, and it was so convenient going straight to Micro Center. I bought multiple PCs there because it was just awesome. There was no one who could beat them, honestly.
Now, what do we have? We're stuck with here in San Antonio, Best Buy and Altex.
Altex ain't that.
Yeah, but I was about to say, no knocking to Altex, because if you need stuff, they do have most things. But nobody in the industry can get the prices that Micro Center gets. All because they don't ship it. You want that price, you come to the fucking store. We don't hold shit for people. We don't reserve shit for people. It's first come, first serve, the way it should be.
All right. So they have one store currently in California with the second coming. They got one in Denver, one in Miami, two of them in Georgia, two of them in Illinois, one in Indianapolis, one in Kansas, one in Massachusetts. Riddle me this: two in Maryland.
That doesn't make any sense. Unless they're originally from Maryland, that might be why.
I don't know. I thought they were a Texas-based store, honestly.
I thought they had more in California, because you watch all these tech YouTubers that are out in California. I know they're going to more than one store, because they always say where they're going. And I think one is like Alameda, and then they always name another location.
So they list one as Tustin, Tustin, and then it says Santa Clara coming soon. Here, I'll tell you what, let's do this.
Yeah, I was about to say, because Jay's 2 Cents and Tech Source are always they always say something like I think they say Alameda.
Interesting, because they don't list
maybe Tuscan is the city and Alameda is I don't know, it's California.
I mean, it could be Alameda, could be like a area in there, because it says Houston, but this is actually, is it close to Katy? I forget where it is, close to Katy or something. I really don't know where it is in Dallas. See, it's in Richardson, so yeah, that might be actually. Whoop, hitting the button too quick. Let's check in and see where it shows. Santa Ana. So yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe it's the subdivision or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
fingers crossed. Hopefully, we'll get another one.
Yeah, I think I mean, why does Ohio need 3 for crying out loud?
That actually makes no sense, considering that, no knocking that state. I know people that live there, but they never ever recovered from the recession in the 70s. There are entire towns that are completely empty in that state. Why they would have 3 makes no sense.
Well, I mean, look at New York here. Brooklyn, Flushing, Yonkers,
that makes sense in a sense. Look at the central population size of just that area.
True, and these are spread out.
Yeah,
I mean, these are spread out over the.
You also got to remember, there are people that literally in those boroughs never leave those boroughs except if they work in Manhattan.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to have a store in each of the major boroughs.
What's funny to me, though, is that you can take all of these stores take the distance between them, add it up, and it still wouldn't be the distance between these two stores.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, fingers crossed they'll wake up and we'll actually get one. Who knows?
Hey, I think Austin needs one.
Yeah, it does, especially considering it's the streamer and tech hub of the country now.
Mm.
It would make only sense that it would be there, but you never know. Marketers sometimes are, well, full of shit.
Weird.
So, all right. So, next thing we're going to hop into is we are going to check out some of the sci-fi stuff that's coming down the train, because there is for a while there was a good stagnation of good sci-fi stuff, movie-wise, or solid TV shows coming out. And then we kind of had a good little explosion of kind of dark sci-fi, dark comedy style sci-fi with stuff like crap, I can't even think of the name of it right now. You had like the Three Body Problem, but not when it really came to movies. I mean, really, the last great sci-fi movie that I can actually remember, uh, other than Alien Romulus, was Interstellar, and Interstellar was made a while ago.
Yeah, but man, you talk about an amazing movie.
Yeah.
Interstellar was amazing.
Oh yeah, I watch it every once in a while, especially if you have like a 4K UHD TV. Holy shit!
Yeah.
That one is yeah. Speaking of which, man, there's a few movies that are up for Academy Awards right now when it comes to special effects. It's going to be a rough race. I mean, you've got Alien Romulus, which, if you haven't seen it, there's a scene where the vehicle is crashing into basically like the stellar rings, like the rings that line Saturn, and the particle debris as the ship hits it, it's literally like it would do, which is all of those rocks are acting like big ass sandpaper, just shredding the ship apart. That is incredible. Then you've got crap, I can't think of it. It's Better Man. So Better Man, if you haven't seen the trailer, is he's a British pop star. We're not very familiar with him here in the U.S. And it's an autobiography, like it's a biopic of him, but in the way he sees himself. So his body and everything has been replaced with a chimp, because he sees himself as like that's how he sees himself.
Are you talking about the Robbie Williams documentary?
Yes.
Oh yeah. And for those who don't know, Robbie Williams is actually pretty damn good.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard stuff after I saw that trailer and realized, okay, I have heard stuff from this person. I just didn't know it was that person. Yeah. But here's the thing about that movie, that after watching the guys on Corridor Crew, shout out to Corridor Crew, that was very interesting is they did the motion capture of somebody, every scene you're watching. The motion capture was done with someone there, of course. And then they, of course, put the chimp image over that motion capture following it, right? They didn't just CGI the chimp in. All the clothes that the actor is wearing, they replicated each piece of fabric on the chimp shell. The lighting flares, the lensing, all the cinema was literally redone. Anyone that knows anything about that stuff, lens flaring is like a CGI person's worst nightmare. But go figure, the people that did it is Weta Workshop. The people that did Interstellar. The people that did Avatar. I mean, these are guys are the best at what they do. Another movie that's up for it, Wicked. Wicked is, I gotta hand it, Wicked was gorgeous. It really was. And when you realize that there are some scenes in there that only the foreground is CGI, that literally the field where they're running through the field of tulips, they planted something like 2 million fucking tulips just to film that scene, and built the entire Munchkin village. Yeah. And then to top it all off, the one that I think should win it is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. It's flawless. It looks so fucking real. I mean, you've got an orangutan in there fighting in a river scene in water. That hair textures meeting with water. Yeah, it's just
So I was also pulling up real quick since you're bringing this up. Cinematography.
mm-hmm.
You're gonna love this. Nosferatu's on here
That should
for
get it.
cinematography.
It should get it.
Well, it's up against Dune 2, The Brutalist,
Ugh.
and Maria. So it's pretty stiff competition
Dune
right
2
there.
is going to be its biggest competition, honestly. Stylistically, that's going to be its biggest competition.
Wicked is listed under Best Picture.
Yeah, right up there against that piece of crap Amelia Perez.
Ugh.
God.
But Dune 2 is listed there too.
Did you ever watch the trailer to that?
No. Oh yeah, the trailer. Yes, I did not watch the show though.
The trailer's horrible enough as it is. We're talking about Amelia Perez, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh God, I don't even want to watch it. Everything I have seen enough screen captures from people of how horrible it is, and that's not just their opinion. Just listening to the screen captures, like the little excerpts they show, I'm just like, no.
So we've got visual effects here. I pulled that up real quick. Nominees: Alien Romulus, as you said, Dune 2, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Wicked, and Better Man.
That's the Robbie Williams one, is Better Man.
Gotcha. Okay.
That one's going to be a rough one, but I really think Apes should get it. I mean, you're dealing with some of the toughest. It's going to be Better Man or Ape. It has to be, because as beautiful as all of those films are, because I've seen all of them, they just did things in both of those films that you talk to anyone in the industry are the most complex, hardest things to achieve. And you slip up one thing and it's going to look like utter shit and you'll see it from a mile away.
Yeah.
But the Planet of the Apes films, Jesus, they just keep getting better and better and better every one they make. I mean, the maybe not story-wise, but the look, like the actual effects are just, they're gorgeous. So right here, the first one we're going to be checking out today is going to be, oddly enough, on Hulu. And it is Alien Earth.
Our ship was transporting specimens. The Weyland-Yutani. Monsters.
Oh, shit.
And one day, we're going to meet them.
Huh. You still there? So yeah, that one, that looks pretty interesting. Kind of always wanted to see an alien film where they actually make it to Earth. So yeah, we're going to give Shark a few minutes. He had to let the fuzzy out. Jack was about to recolor the carpet. But yeah, that's apparently coming out on Hulu through via FX. I love how stylized, though, they're keeping the aesthetic of like the interior of the ships. They're not trying to go all futuristic on the monitors or anything like that. They're keeping they're keeping the visual aesthetics that the Alien films have always had. I think if they ever tried to like upscale, you know, the way the computers or the ships look, it would ruin the Alien franchises. But these, I really do love how they're keeping the ships as stylized as they were all the way back to the original first film. But yeah, that one's coming out on Hulu through FX. What do you think of it?
I've been watching the previews on it. I'm kind of interested to see, because when you really think about that universe, we are low man on the totem pole.
Yeah. I would love to see them come back to Aliens and Predator, but do it better. Do it the way it should have been done.
This is a reminder.
Alexa, stop.
Reminder. Take your meds.
My bee in a box reminding me to take my meds.
Aha. So the next one that we're going to be watching is called Ash. This is one that came across my feed, and actually all of these came across my feed, and I had not heard of most of them. And I'm kind of glad my feed for once didn't send me a bunch of bullshit I didn't give a crap about. But this one's called Ash.
It's your fault. Abnormal activity detected. Where am I? Who am I? I don't know what happened here. But when I woke up, there is no one left. Movement at exterior airlock. Who are you? It's me. You sent me a distress call. What do you remember?
Just moments.
We need answers. Try to stay calm.
Something is not adding up.
Listen to me. You and I, we have a purpose. Do you understand this?
What are you not telling me?
What's happening? Unusual life form detected.
Damn, that's giving me like Dead Space meets other. Dude, the visuals look insane.
See, and that's where I was sitting there. I was like, it gives me that like Resident Evil meets Cyberpunk meets Alita Battle Angel feel.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. The I watched this on my phone. Now watching it on a bigger screen, even now on the bigger screen, I'm just kind of like, damn, it's.
And I'm not much of a horror person, but this one I actually want to watch.
Now I know what it's giving me the vibe of. It's literally Resident Evil meets Dead Space meets Event Horizon. Especially the way it's doing the horror bloody quick, pop in and out. Because that's one thing that Horizon did that terrified the shit out of people. That's another movie that amazes me when people say, "Oh, I've never seen that one." It's like, how the fuck have you not seen that? It's like, that was probably like the best, in my opinion, thriller that came out that year. All right, so the next one we got is with Dave Bautista and Mila Jovovich. It's called Into the Lost Lands.
If you've got the time and the stomach for it, I've got a story for you. The world you know is gone. consumed by the flames of a great war long ago. All that's left now are the Lost Lands.
I'm looking for a guide. Someone who knows the Lost Lands.
Why you want to leave the city?
I'm looking for a great treasure and immense power.
Friends of yours?
I don't have many friends.
Me neither.
Find them.
Outside these walls, laws of nature, they don't apply. It won't be easy. Prepare yourself.
Giving me equilibrium.
Here they come.
Yeah.
Her power grows stronger by the day. Our time is running out. She has become a symbol of their defiance. Down with the Overlord! This woman needs to die.
Hand her over and we'll let you live.
Sorry.
They're trying to do that Mad Max deal, too.
Yeah.
She hired me first.
Well, it's the lust they're using. It's like that chroma style
Your
color.
fate was sealed when you met me.
Also, I feel like some of the, with some of the top people like that right there kind of gives me that 300 feel.
This is the moment we've been working for.
It's not too late to turn back.
One always has to die.
The last witch hunter.
Yeah. Well,
So, how'd you like my story?
I still don't know how it ends.
it's definitely, you can tell, being R.R. Martin, you can definitely tell what influences he took on the creation process of writing it.
Yeah.
Because there are so many things in here. And honestly, so far from what I'm seeing, the way the main characters are even dressed, it literally looks like the person went rummaging, and not in a bad way, but rummaging through the costumes that were left over from the movie Priest.
But I don't know why I keep it, for whatever reason, in this particular film, Jonovich just reminds me of freaking Taylor Swift with that look.
Yeah. Well, the thing I worry about is the minute they say from the director of Resident Evil, and it's like, you mean the guy that put her in every Resident Evil because he's also the dude that fucks her?
Yeah.
It's like, that is not a great, that does not, it makes me worry about it, not feel hopeful for it. Because I'm sorry, the Resident Evils, they just dragged those out to death, and they fucked the story on the last two of them. Where it was leading, they completely ditched it. It was like, what the fuck? We wanted to see the Grand Battle. We wanted to see all that shit, even though you totally fucked the game story from, hell and back.
Yeah. But I will say, I've really started to like Dave Bautista as an actor.
Oh, yeah. No, if
he's really actually pretty good.
No, he is very good. In fact, if you have never seen it, a movie that really shows you his acting chops is Knock at the Cabin. That was a really good movie. I was actually kind of shocked all around, because what got me to watch the movie was the premise of it, and two, the fact that Rupert Grint was in it. And that was one of the first things he had done since Harry Potter.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, Ron Weasley. Ron Weasley.
Yeah, Ron Weasley.
Yeah. So yeah, this one,
and what was that movie where I think it was zombies, but it was something like they had some guy, they were trying to pick a safe. Batista was in it, and like there was like zombie lions or
Army of the Dead.
Okay, I kind of get Army of the Dead vibes with this a little.
Yeah,
like
and I think it's
like an extension arc.
It's kind of, I think, what's giving you that is because of how, again, the color palette they're using on it.
Well, no, I feel like the story itself could almost be an offshoot of further down the line from that storyline.
Okay, I see where you're going. Yeah, that could possibly be. Yeah. Oh, definitely one to look at. So the next one is called Creepbox. And this basically all of these are kind of building up to some pretty wild ones. That's why I got to give these the next couple of trailers we're going to watch are pretty out there, but in that good, like, wow, okay, this may go in directions I haven't seen things go in before, which, let's face it, is a rarity in and of itself.
Something new.
Yeah.
Franklin, you more than anyone knows how important this project is.
We're not reaching into an astral plane or into the afterlife here. Our technology at HGTA allows us to simulate human consciousness. Like AI. AI is incapable of giving meaning to its calculations and its predictions. Our simulations operate using personal experiences. And words of meaning are used to primer and guide the simulation, not algorithms.
Hado?
Sylvie, going on here. Our minds create a flowing stream of thought, but in a simulation, it's much more like a torrent.
I don't understand what's happening to me. You okay, Pop?
After all my work, my research, and death and dying, after everything I've learned, I'm just more convinced that there's just nothing at all. Maybe there shouldn't be.
What do you do with something so particularly intimate?
We're approaching some sort of technological singularity, and Ellis is treating it like some sort of pocket game.
You cannot do this. The ethical implications of this.
Ethical implications?
Yes. I have to tell Ellis. I have to get out of this before we lose everything.
Ellis will shut me down.
Yes, Colin. He will make an example of you.
Where am I now? Where am I now?
Meta, Domineer, Twitch, Scent, Sunset, Vanilla Bean.
Where am I now? Get out. Get out now!
I want to know what you said to him.
Fully aware of what your technology does. What will it change?
Everything will be okay.
It gives me the vibes you're watching the birth of the sentient creation that helped the machines make the Matrix.
That, or if you actually read the books, Ready Player One and Ready Player Two, the technology was created a lot like that.
Yeah.
Because, it drove them crazy.
Yeah. Well, what I love in a sense of that one is the pacing. That's how you pace a good trailer. Build up, build up, build up. But at the same time, you're like, I'm not too sure what's going on, but I want to know more what's going on. I want to figure out what's going on, but I don't still know what's going on. And that's what you're not supposed to give away the whole fucking film in a trailer. And I think that's where I think most of these newer trailers totally shit the bed all the time.
Yeah.
So next one we're going to watch came out of nowhere again, just came into my feed. And what threw me off was when I saw the lead in it, which is Frankie Muniz. And interesting thing about him is he hasn't done a whole lot. And what he has done is very, very quiet, very indie. And this is, I think, the first bigger thing he's done, in a sense, coming back to acting. But to me, it looks really good.
Do you have a desire that remains unfulfilled because of your non-existent confidence?
Well, there's a woman. I want to meet her.
Speaking with the woman will build your confidence and serve as your first step to becoming assertive.
Did you say something?
I just moved here, and I wanted to do something neighborly.
Dinner?
So what do you do?
I develop artificial intelligence.
That's you. Yeah, tell me more about your AI.
I'm working on a project of my own. An artificial intelligence that helps motivate people to make changes in their lives.
Jamie is your guest, and her intentions are still unclear. we kissed. Do you really think Jamie is clean?
Dude, do you have the bitch factor turned up on her?
Organization is a key for success. Routine, routine, routine. Renner, I'm detecting a network breach. A copy of our code is being downloaded. They are stealing your creation, taking what is yours. Defend what is yours. Protect your code. Remember, I am your code.
Why are you so unclean?
Your nails, your teeth.
Disgusting. Why are you so disgusting, Renner?
Stand up to them.
Alrighty then.
Yeah. Like, you just see the few scenes they show of you, it's like, if he can pull off a descent into madness the same way Christian Bale did in The Machinist, or I can't think of the actor's name, the one that did the movie Memento. Memento is the one where he has no short-term memory, so he starts tattooing everything on himself, so every day when he wakes up, he remembers who killed his wife.
Yeah. Guy Pearce?
Guy Pearce, yeah.
Yeah.
If he can pull off, because you can already tell by the scenes they're showing, the make or break on this film is going to be a lot of him alone into the descent. Like, how much is the AI actually pushing him, or how much is it all in his fucking head? And yeah, if he could pull it off, it's going to show that, he's more than fucking Malcolm in the Middle, and I think that's why he did a movie like this.
Yeah, because that's all anybody really remembers of him.
Well, yeah, because he made so much money doing that and started racing cars, and then he got into that bad fucking wreck, and it fucked his head up.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw him in an interview recently, and they didn't bring this up because the interview was, I think, before this trailer had dropped. He was probably working. I think he mentioned working on it. He's physically and mentally better now, and is trying, I think, to basically make his comeback into acting. As he put it in that interview, he took a break to pursue what he wanted to do, and now he's at the state where, he's wanting to come back.
Well, also, he's still racing.
Yeah, no, he never stopped that.
He did the Craftsman Truck Series yesterday and came in, finished 27th.
Nice. I know in the interview he was talking about that the last race he had done during the interview was he does the Pikes Peak run every year.
Oh.
Which I'm sorry, that's an insane fucking race.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah. I watched the one video of the live dash cam when Aaron Kaufman did it in the car that he built. No, thank you. I'm sorry. One wrong move and you're going off the edge of that thing, you're dead.
I've got no problem doing 160 to 180 on a straight road. But what they do, no, I'll pass. I will pass hard.
I did Circle 8 in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't have a problem with that. But yeah, it's because you know what's going to happen if it goes wrong. That, yeah. I'm sorry, I don't think I'd want to, zero gravity floating. And then a fiery kaboom.
But to be fair, like I watched some of the stuff like Isle of Man racing and stuff, and they build those things to be tanks. They are indestructible.
Yeah, it may be indestructible, but the human body isn't. You're not meant to spin, flip, and bang. I know that from experience. I mean, think about it. All I can think in my head, and it's a fucked up image, is someone going off the edge and then hitting and rolling and hitting and rolling and hitting and rolling and hitting and rolling. And for some reason, the minute I thought of that, what popped in my head is Police Academy Bobcat Goldthwait going down the stairs. That didn't hurt. That didn't hurt. That didn't hurt. That didn't hurt.
Oh, now I gotta go back and watch that.
Yeah. For our younger kids in the audience, go watch the Police Academy movies, but only 1 through 3. Once they got to 4, it kind of went to shit. Citizens on Patrol was the last great one.
Yeah, and then after you do that, just start Mel Brooks movies.
Mel Brooks movies, and then if you really want raunchy funny at its peak, watch the first 2 Revenge of the Nerds.
Yes.
But don't watch the ones after it. They fucking sucked. So our next one is called Levels, and I think it's already out, or it was supposed to release. I'm not too sure because, like I said, I did not catch this until recently. So I need to research if it's actually out.
I made you! And I unmake you.
There is so much this world can teach us.
Joe, if you're seeing this, something's happened to me. I need your help.
What is happening? I saw you die. I saw someone kill you.
There's a technology. The first digital universe. I found a way in. Track him.
I'm fixing it.
Now, they're after you.
So what does that make me?
This is as real as anything I know. We're risking exposure.
You can flick a switch and you are gone like you never existed.
It's time for a reboot. Is this real?
Very Matrix, but at the same time, very different.
Yeah. Interesting. That is definitely interesting.
Yeah, like I said, it said November, so I guess it's already out. I just couldn't find much more on it. All right, so the last trailer we're going to look at is, this is probably the wildest of them all and the most unique of them all. It's called Odessa, and it's another one coming out by Hulu. So Hulu's coming out swinging, trying to, knock Netflix, which, I'm sorry, they're not going to be able to knock Netflix off their movie high horse because Netflix kind of owns movies when it comes to produced ones. Right there behind frickin' Prime. But they do better on the TVs, mainly because, Netflix has the 2-season curse where you're lucky if the second season doesn't suck, or they don't even cancel it halfway through the fucking second season.
Yeah.
So this is Odessa.
My plasmatics.
The world's gone mad out there. Ain't safe for old gal with stars in her eyes.
Name's Odessa.
So I'm small and I know I'm young.
My daddy used to tell me my singing had the power to bring light to the darkness and change things.
Satellite City. It is a depraved and sinful place.
When you sang to me earlier tonight, reminded me of how beautiful some things are.
Praise be to Tanovich on high.
Anyone who speaks out against him just gets shipped off, where he tortures them in the name of entertainment.
We have to do something.
This world is cruel, Odessa.
Maybe it doesn't have to be.
We need a revolution.
They're gonna get what's coming to them. Mark my words.
Whoa! Now!
You can bring light to the darkness.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Very weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I was getting some like really like early on like live action Arcane vibes.
Arcane vibes, some of the way the characters look, I'm getting kind of like Homer's The Iliad.
Yeah.
Especially the woman with no eyes definitely reminds me of like the Fates. The musical aspect is kind of interesting. Yeah, it's just one of those that when I found it, it was just kind of like, this is definitely piqued my interest. It's definitely unique, and I like unique, especially nowadays, considering mostly everything is like the same shit. Yeah, and plus Sadie Sink being in it, she's a phenomenal actress. I mean, she had probably one of the most, and still, because they haven't finished it, complicated roles in Stranger Things. Because her character went through a lot that I was physically in front of you the whole time, and for someone that young to pull off that physicality and that level of acting shows the natural talent and the skill that's there.
Yes, very much so.
And if she's actually the one seeing so far what they show in the trailer, girl's got a voice on her too. So definitely one that is something to keep an eye out on for. But yeah, that's pretty much all of the crazy sci-fi shit that has kind of come across the feed lately. I know that I've heard some rumors of some few more. So now what we're gonna do is hop right into our last little tidbit of the night, which is we're gonna basically do a segment every once in a while called Anime Corner with all the great anime that's coming out and all the people that are new to some of the older animes that are now getting turned into live action adaptations, especially now that we're getting very close to, I think, the second season of One Piece coming out. They're continuing the Avatar live action. There are so many fucking rumors down the pipe of what's coming up, what's going to be next, what's going to be the big thing. I decided while we're talking about it, the first one we're showcasing is two of our both me and Shark's personal favorite. That's 3/4 of the way through the second season. It is Solo Leveling.
Yes.
Dude, the artwork stuff happened, especially with the monsters he's faced, that make you question it. Because have you seen the most recent episode?
I did not watch last week's episode because I like to try to pair them up, so I've got a couple of them to watch together.
Okay, yeah, I won't ruin it, but there's a major, in a sense, glitch that happens with the big bad, and it makes you question very much, huh?
Was it the elf?
No.
Okay, yeah, then don't do it.
yeah, no. This next one, yeah, it makes you question a lot of it. And they even go into a little bit more, like there's definitely a lot going on that the main character is unaware of and everyone else is unaware of.
Is it the ogre?
Well, it's the main ogre.
Yeah, the big ogre. Okay, yeah, and then I have seen it. Never mind.
Yeah, where he makes the comment.
Yeah.
When the glitch screen happens, he makes that comment being aware that, wait a minute, this isn't supposed to be fucking going down like this. So that leads you to believe that wherever they are may not be the real world, but on top of that, some of the creatures in this world are aware of their situation, and for some reason, he is breaking the fundamental tenements of that reality that they think of.
Well, it did it with the elf too, because it was like, remember the elf one glitched out whenever he asked him a question. I forget what the question was, but it was about the reality that he's in, and he glitched out and it was like somebody hit rewind and play.
Yeah, well, not only that, it also led to that before that when the elf also made the comment that how did he word it? I'm trying to remember what he exactly said. He pretty much told him, I smelled all your compadres, but I don't smell you. You're not fucking human in less words.
Yeah, he
and
did.
that,
He told
that
him,
at that scene, you can even see the elf kind of give a look like, what the fuck are you?
yeah, you're like me.
Yeah. Which makes us even wonder more, what the fuck is his father then? And why the hell is his father trapped behind a gate for that long?
Well, and let's take it all the way back to the beginning, though. How did he gain this power? It was the split second before he was to die. He was given this power.
Yeah, the being that basically in that dungeon that was going to kill him.
What if he's still stuck in that second?
Yeah. That or when he when he displayed the willingness to in a sense, give up but not give up. When he basically appeased that being.
Yeah.
Who's to say he's the one that walked out of there?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what that thing needed to inhabit to leave.
Yeah.
Someone willing to give up their body in a sense freely.
Yeah, and where his
but at
father...
the same note, then why would the more I think about it, I don't think it's that case. It's a little odd. But the signs that's not that case is if it was something that is not him, why would it continue to take care of the sister? Why would it continue to care and help other people? And why the hell would it be going through so much to save his mother?
Because it's only active in the dungeon.
I don't think so, because other people have, when he's wanted to, seen the aura around him in the real world.
Oh yeah, that's true. I guess I didn't think about that.
Yeah, so it's that he just doesn't choose to display, except now in these most recent episodes, he's realizing, I can't fucking hide this shit anymore. They know, this last one, they all know he's S tier. In fact, not only do they know he's S tier, but in the comic, in the anime, in the manga, the one that becomes his wife, she realizes, like, in that split second that not only is he S tier, because she knows other S tiers, he's probably so more fucking powerful than them, which is why he was able to mask it from her. Because remember, even when she smelled him, she couldn't sense it, but with everybody else, it's instantaneous. She can tell.
Yeah, because they all stink to her.
Yeah, but to him, he doesn't. So, yeah, that's what I love about it. It's one of the few ones I've watched in so long that it can go in any damn way very easily. So
yeah, no, it's definitely, of the ones that have come out more recently, it's definitely one that's more captivating because it's making you think.
Yes, it definitely is. So I thought about adding this one mainly because I watch it religiously now, and I was kind of blown away on how unique this one was. And I'm just loving the hell out of it because it's a funny fucking trip. So for anybody watching, if you haven't watched this one out and you want an anime that is literally way more different than any of the other ones that are out there, we're not talking an isekai, we're not talking anything like any of these others. This is literally, think if someone created an anime that's in the Mr. Nobody John Wick universe.
彼はすべての悪党から恐れられ、すべての殺し屋の憧れだった。しかし ある日、坂本は太った。
いただきます。
殺し屋には戻らない。
家訓破ったら離婚だからね。
破ったら殺す。
矛盾してるじゃないですか。いちいち殺してたらキリないね。バカっつったかこれ。
援護を頼んだぜブラザー。これが戦友ってやつか。このデブにかけられた懸賞金は10億円。
今のお前は家族も守れねえ、ただのデブだよ。
ここからは本気で行かせてみる。
So yeah, it's called Sakamoto Days and it's on Netflix.
Yeah, I've seen these and I've been interested in watching it.
大切な人を守るために使うと決めたんだ。それが今の俺の強さ。
The premise is great.
Oh, it's beautifully done. The music is amazing, and I'm laughing my ass off through most of the episodes. Like it is really, really funny and really good, and really unique in what it does and the entire story behind it. And yeah, when he goes off, it is just full on fucking beast mode. Even though he's fat as shit, like when he decides to get really fucking pissed and has to take it seriously, out of nowhere, all the weight is vanished and he's who he was before. And then it goes to the next scene after he defeats the guys and his compadre is literally like, his two compadres, the one's like, how did he gain all that weight back so quickly? And he turns and looks at her and goes, have you seen how much he fucking ate the last day? So just really, really good. I'm enjoying it. It makes me want to find the manga it's based off of. Just because it's really, really good, and I love the way they just do the stories and the characters. It's just pure joy when you're watching it, truly. Which sometimes, yeah, I love animes that are serious and stuff like that, but sometimes it's nice to just have something that you can sit back, turn on, and reminds you almost of like Saturday morning cartoons in a way that you're just enjoying, having fun, and just loving it all to death. So final one. Sure. What's up?
Which one did you pick as the third?
So the third, we don't have a third tonight. Those are the two main ones. I kind of want to keep it at two because what we're going to do to close out the night is this is a quick video that we could discuss what we see and pause it as we're going by. But Animatopia, which by the way, I'm going to subscribe right now because I forgot I hadn't. So shout out to Animatopia. This is his video. It is every upcoming anime for spring of this year. So hopefully, yeah, I saw what you just texted me. We're going to talk about it because it's in here. There's a few other that are in here, and it's going to be giving the dates of some of these. So right now, this is just for spring. And as we get closer to summer, he'll probably release another one, which will have what you're talking about, which is Kaiju number 8. And we'll discuss those. Because right now, what I love about his videos when he does these is none of these are rumor speculation. These are all confirmed with the actual confirmed dates. They're already done, in the pipe, ready to go. Unlike some of the other animes we keep hearing stuff about that, oh, it's coming out in March, and then March rolls by and they're like, well, maybe September now. Which, yeah, they're notorious for fucking doing.
This year started off epic for anime fans. But what about spring 2025? No worries. We've got you covered with every upcoming anime this season. Get ready because some absolute bangers are on the way.
Because some of these so far I've never watched any of these. That's a lot for fucking April.
Wow.
Okay, Black Butler, I'll probably watch.
Good anime can turn an ordinary day into something legendary. And this year is packed with everything. Action, love, magic, and more. No boring moments, just pure hype.
I'm really not knowing a lot of these either.
Yeah, I know. And God, it's a lot for fucking just April alone.
I mean, I saw Fire Force there at the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I've never heard of 90% of these so far.
Yeah.
Waiting for a sequel to your favorite anime. Or maybe something brand new to blow your mind. Either way, April is about to be insane.
Jesus.
So mark your watch list now.
God damn, that is a lot for just 1 month.
Yeah. Just running it all out. They ain't even touched May yet.
Yeah.
Apocalypse Hotel. I might watch that one. Sounds interesting.
Yeah. Damn. Hey, this whole video may just be April shit.
Yeah.
Which kind of defeats the point because I was hoping it would show the one that I know is coming out, supposed to be coming out, I think, in spring. Well, either way, spring or at some point this year, we're supposed to be getting the next season of One Punch Man.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
God's blessing this wonderful. Oh no.
Sure, yeah.
So, what are you
Jujutsu
most
Kaisen.
excited for? Did we miss anything?
So really, the only one I fully recognized other than Fire Force was Jujutsu Kaisen. But man, that's a lot for just 1 month.
Well, and so a lot of people don't know this. Fire Force actually has a follow-up show.
Huh.
It's called Soul Eater.
Interesting.
So if you're big in the Fire Force and you didn't realize that, Fire Force leads up to the world of Soul Eater. So definitely something for people to look into.
Yeah. Well, you heard it here, people. Check it out. Yeah, definitely though. Yeah, this year. Yeah, let's take a look. I'm curious to see what major anime return in 2025. Let's see what they've confirmed. All right. So, Bleach, 1,000-Year Blood War Part 4, Chainsaw Man, the movie Ray's Arc, Demon Slayer Infinity Castle, Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3, One Punch Man Season 3, and Lazarus are in the top. Let's see what Games Radar says, see if they bring up anything else. If their piece of shit site will frickin' load. Jumping around, bouncing all over because all their goddamn Hey, assholes, you build a website, fuck all this adware bullshit. Nobody's going to read your article, look at it if it's taking 10,000 minutes just to load up so we can get 3,000 fucking skip ad shit on every corner of the site.
Oh, so I didn't see it on your list there, but there is one that I've watched before. It says April season 2 is coming out for I've Been Killing Slime for 300 years.
No, that was on that video.
Was it? I must have missed that one. I've actually watched that first series. It's okay. Good mind-numbing little
All right,
little one to watch.
This is a newer article right here. Let's see what they got. And again, another one that's running like shit because they got 10,000 fucking pieces of caca loading up on it. All right, so you got Zenshu, Sakamoto Days. We already know that. Honey Lemon Soda. Yeah, if I can read, it's jumping all over the place again. Yaiba, Samurai Legend, Dan to Dan Season 2. Chainsaw Man. God, I can't even read this article. Fuck your website. Go figure. It's indiewiredouche.com.
July, I see Rent a Girlfriend Season 4.
Okay.
That's a kind of a big one. I'm seeing a lot of ones I don't know here. July's looking like a fairly short list overall.
Yeah, I know one. A lot of people I know watch this one. Apparently, second season of the Apothecary Diaries.
Spy X Family will not be till October. It says season 3 will start in October.
Yeah, I just scrolled across that. Yeah, Fire Force season 3. Here's a big one. Fall 2025. My Hero Academia season 8. Which the way they ended that with the Liberation Front, man, that is going to be a big one.
Yeah. Oh, what is this? So, list of original net animations will do. Looks like they're coming out with some new My Melody and Kuromi stuff.
Oh, nice.
This year.
Yeah, July 2025 for Kaiju number 8, season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here's one it didn't show. Oh, no, maybe it did. Second half of the Egghead Island arc of One Piece, April 6, 2025.
There we go.
That's the one I'm waiting for. I mean, hell, the way it ended, you're just kind of in limbo. I mean, it ended pretty much. If you think about it, it didn't even end with anything big with Luffy. It ended us with Sabo.
Mm-hmm.
That seems to be about it right now of anything that's confirmed.
Yeah.
I don't want to know what this Lazarus is because a lot of these articles are really kind of hyping that one up.
That is, let's see, I just pulled that one up.
Oh, so it's apparently from Shinichiro Watanabe, the creator of Cowboy Bebop. John Wick director Chad Stelazitsky is also on board as action director. The Cyberpunk series okay, wait a minute, we're finding a trailer.
Yeah, I was saying, it says Utopian year 2052. Dr. Skinner discovered a miracle drug, announces the drug has a 3-year half-life, and soon everyone who took it will die.
Lazarus trailer, let's see here.
It's about them creating a vaccine named Lazarus.
Okay, here we go. All right, which one do we want to go with? Do we want to do let's do the official trailer.
Yeah.
Definitely Cowboy Bebop art style.
面白い
Definitely getting those Cowboy Bebop vibes.
I'm all for, man. It's been forever since we had an anime that had a vibe like that.
Yeah.
Target 現れました。中央駅です。
了解。すぐ向かう。
なんか道じゃないとこを走ってるみたい。オッケー。お客さんね。
Nice. Yeah, the soundtrack too.
Guy, he's a master at that.
Oh yeah.
Parkour.
That looks good. Yeah, definitely gonna be watching that.
Yeah. Yeah, that definitely shows some promise. Going through here. Yeah, I think that was about it for Anime Corner for this segment. There's definitely a lot of stuff coming out that finally looks good. I mean, we've had so long of stuff that was just subpar.
Yeah. I've actually been going back and just kind of rewatching some older stuff.
Yeah.
Well, another one that I did find that wasn't too bad was called Failure Frame. And I like the story arc that he basically gets, the typical, you're getting shunned, but this one's by a goddess and they just try to, they're like, yeah, you're not good enough. We're going to kill you off. And he's like, like hell you are.
That's funny. That sounds interesting. Yeah, I'm the same way. I've been other than Solo Leveling, when it comes to like even just shows in general, there's not a whole lot of them newer ones I'm watching at all. Like I've tried and I just couldn't get into any of them. I've been like on the binge watch of well, I just of course finished Cobra Kai. It's done and they ended it perfectly. Talk about a show that truly understood the world it was in and what it was all about and didn't try to reach further out of its zone than it should. Cobra Kai did it very well. But yeah, I actually been watching two older shows over again. I restarted Deep Space Nine from the beginning, just because there's a lot I don't remember from it. And then on normal shows other than sci-fi, I actually started rewatching from the beginning Burn Notice and Person of Interest. Because they're just good shows. They never had a bad season or a bad episode.
Yeah. Something interesting as far as the anime route, if you want to kick it really old school, and oddly enough, I loved this show back in the day. Sailor Moon they've got a on-stage musical of Sailor Moon going on right now across North America.
That's interesting.
And it's based off the old, I believe it's the Super S storyline.
Okay. That would definitely be interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I've seen some good reviews on it, so.
Nice. Good. Well, I think that's about it for our episode this time. Want to thank everybody for watching. If you want to check out any of the things, just go back and watch the show. Check out the channels we viewed today. Give them some love. Always believe in giving credit where credit is due for some of these great creators and their channels. Hopefully, like I said, we're going to try to keep a regular schedule on this going as much as we can. I kind of think every 2 weeks is kind of the sweet spot right now. Trying for both of our schedules to push every week would be stretching it. Plus 2 weeks gives us a little bit more to talk about and more shit to find. More shit happens in 2 weeks than one right now. So, but yeah, if you've watched, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining in. Feel free to like, subscribe, leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from anybody that watches it, see what they think. If they have any ideas, hell, maybe you might even want to join in. Thank you again. Be safe. Keep everybody's thoughts and your prayers going good for everybody. I'm Wolf as always. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Shark, again for joining. Hope you had a blast watching us. We have a blast doing this. That's why we do it. Be safe out there. Take care. And thank you again for joining in.
Y'all have a good night.